Hello, Supermarine faithful. Welcome back to the YouTube channel, and it's time to talk with the manager, Bobby Wilkinson. He's here with me, and Bobby, like this season so far, was it 5 wins from 5? You must be absolutely delighted so far.
Good to see you again, Dan. Brilliant to be doing an interview with yourself. I enjoyed it last year, and hopefully we'll enjoy it again this year. Um, I'm just delighted for the players. I mean, I'm delighted for my staff and everyone at the football club that we've started the season well. We work extremely hard off season to start the season well, and everyone at the club deserves a lot of credit for what they've done on and off the pitch to give ourselves a chance to do well.
So let's go through the games, because last time we left you, you'd just beaten Bishop's Cleeve by a goal to nil, and you were preparing for Slimbridge. Now, I know you must be happy to talk about this one. 5-0 up at half time. There's an internet meme, and I think it's from The Simpsons. Oh, by God, he's dead. Just quit already. And 5-0 up at half time. I was thinking about that when I saw that. The interesting bit I thought of at full time, were you, first of all, actually, at halftime when you are 5-0 up, because often we've seen managers on the receiving end of those kind of results and they're just furious, or they're just like, come on, boys. What is it like in the dressing room when you're 5-0 up as a manager? Is it kind of a don't get complacent, or how is it? Tell me.
It's a really good question, Dan. What I said to the boys at halftime: let's continue the standards. Let's continue to enjoy our football, because that's something I'm really trying to make these lads do. Because that's a dangerous scoreline, not because of you're going to lose the game, but because you're going to get complacent, injuries, people switch off. So what I said to the boys is, you've got to take my experience here. You've got to keep going, because you're playing for yourselves as well as, finishing off this game, because you can certainly stay on the ball too long. And then you have to look at the opposition as well. They're frustrated. They're not going to be happy that, we've had 5 shots on goal in the first half and scored 5. We were clinical on the day. So I was more concerned with my players, but I needed my players to conduct themselves in the manner of, this is 0-0. And I don't like that saying 0-0. When you're 5-0, you're 5-0. But I did make that saying on the evening is, let's continue to work hard, move the ball quickly, 2-touch football, and don't get complacency, because we don't want to lose any injuries. I want no bookings, otherwise I'd be upset about that. And then we went out for the next 20 minutes and scored another 2 and was electric on the evening. And then things got a little bit difficult with 25 minutes to go when I made 5 changes. But I have to say, all the boys deserve the credit for going there and scoring 7 goals past a very good, well-organised side. It was never 7 goals. It was just everything we hit on the night went in. So we have to play them a week Saturday. That will be a total different game when we play them.
Yeah, and I was going to say, like, the second half 2-2, the second 45, as you say, start 0-0 at half time, second half 2-2. Were you in the dressing room afterwards? Obviously, you've scored 7, but are you now going, well, the 2 goals we conceded, we could have done better there? Because so many managers are perfectionists in that regard, and I assume you're no different.
What's quite funny about that, Dan, I had more messages about them 2 goals than the result, because everyone knows how I manage and what I expect. I wanted 7-0. But then I have to reflect on the situation of the second half with the changes. And was I disappointed in the 2 goals? Of course I was, because I want clean sheets as well as everyone else did. But I went in and I took a total different approach, actually. I said, I don't want to talk about the 2 goals, because we had to move quite a lot around in the end. Let's just look at all the positives. Let's look at all the chances we made, because there was another 4 or 5 chances in the second half. And let's look at the 2 goals on that we conceded, how we can be better, how we can make sure that doesn't happen again. So I went and took a different approach, actually, because over the years that would have really upset me, and I would have gone in and let them know. But when you go to a midweek game on a Wednesday evening on their first opening fixture of the season, you've got to give the boys credit that they've scored 7 goals and not take away what they've done. So yeah, I took a different approach, Dan.
Yeah, 10 goals in 2 games, I just want to say, because you scored 3-1. You won 3-1 in a nice Oxfordshire derby against Didcot, against Oxfordshire. Wiltshire versus Oxfordshire, always interesting. 3-1 win. Another one. This one is an FA Cup match, and it's just obviously, I know last time you were talking about how important it is qualifying for the future rounds of the FA Cup. I'm going to get the draw in a moment and ask you your thoughts on that. But Didcot Town, what did you think of that performance? Because obviously coming off a 7-2 win, your players might think, well, we could be in second or third gear and we might still be able to win with that. We've been pretty damn good recently. So how important is it for you to be like, no, I want top gear, I want fifth gear. Everyone is going for it.
Yeah, we had a game plan. We went there with a game plan. Remember, I went there last year and lost 1-0. And it was actually one of the most disappointing days I'd had at the club. I wasn't happy how we performed. I wasn't happy how we conducted ourselves last year. So we went there with a game plan. We sort of knew how we would beat them. We knew they would play the 4-2-4. We knew they're quite a long ball side, even though they've got a really good manager there. Their management team were more worried about us than them on the day, which I thought really didn't help them at all. But what we wanted to do is show a different side of us. We went 1-0 down, Dan. So that's why that was even more pleasurable. We went 1-0 down. We regrouped. We didn't panic. We kept moving the ball the best we could. And then our class just came above them in the end, and we were just too good on the day. And to win 3-1 in the FA Cup, which everyone knows at times it was even a scrappy game on the day. It wasn't the most fluent football, even though the pitch is beautiful, because both teams want to win. It was a local derby. Some of our players know their players know us. So what it was, if I'm being brutally honest with you, was a typical FA Cup game. Who can get in the hat? Who can win some money for their football club? Because both clubs haven't got the biggest budgets. Both clubs have to work extremely hard with finances. And we were lucky enough on the day that we just had a bit too much for them on the day.
You must be pleased, though, with the resilience to go 1-0 down and then put 3 past them. And there's been times at this football club where they've gone 1-0 down and thought, oh, okay. But this particular game shows that they didn't quit, and that's credit to you.
Yeah, that's a credit to everyone. That's a credit to the players, my staff. All I will do is continue to lead them. I will never drop my standards, whatever level I'm at. I expect everyone to, have the same standards to the best of their ability. And what I wanted to do is build a culture here that if you're going to lose, you're going to lose with pride, and you're going to lose wearing the badge with pride. And we're going to try and do things the right way. And you brought it up. We were 7-0. We were 5-0 up at halftime on the Wednesday, and we had to show a different side of us that day. And then we go 1-0 down in an FA Cup away from home. We had to show another side of our character, and that's why I'm the most proudest manager today for what my team are trying to achieve and the challenges we've had playing on a Friday night, a Wednesday night, and then an FA Cup. That was a lot of pressure on us because we know it's important with the money. So we enjoyed them challenges last week, Dan. The players have just been phenomenal to work with. They're listening, they're learning. The experience we brought in has helped the youngsters, the ones that were with us last year that struggled. You could see they've now learned how to adapt to this caliber of football and this standard of football. So everyone is on a journey and everyone seems to be doing well. But we're not going to get carried away. Listen, we've won 5 games. We could have lost 5. I never take any notice of that. All I want to do is WNG, win your next game. And that is how it's got to be. Because I know we could lose both games at the weekend. And then, there'll be certain people around us that won't be happy that we've lost 2 games. That's the nature of the beast. Never too high and never too low. And people have laughed at me for them sayings over the years, but that's true. And I haven't got carried away whatsoever, nor have my players. But what we are is a confident team that believe we can win every game. But that's what I expect. I want to believe we can win every game, even if we lost 5 games on the road. So that's the credit the boys take. They go into every game full of confidence and believing that they can win any game against any team and take any challenge on at the moment.
Let's, before we focus on the two games upcoming, the FA Cup draw has been announced. Winslow United or Long Levens. Is there a preference for you as to which one you'd fancy, or is it just come all and we'll see what happens?
Listen, we'll take any of the two on. When you ask for an FA Cup draw, and if anyone will lie about it, they'll be lying. What you ask for is a 50-50 game. What we've been done with both these teams is it's a 50-50 game. They can beat us, we can beat them. So it gives both teams the opportunity to go into the next round. I'm very fortunate there's a replay tomorrow, so I'll be travelling down to watch the team tomorrow, or both teams tomorrow, so I could get to do my work, which is vital for me, so I can study both teams, and whoever wins tomorrow, then I will know what work I have to do for a week Saturday. But no, we don't mind who we play. Both teams are good teams. Both teams drew 2-2 at the weekend, and one team's a step 5, as we know, and one team's a step 4. Winslow, I think, will still be favourites tomorrow, but whoever we play, that's the next FA Cup, and that'd be the one we'll be preparing to try and win.
Yeah, first qualifying round proper before, after all the preliminary qualifying rounds. Let's focus on this weekend. Slimbridge FA Trophy, Saturday, 3:00 kickoff. Hopefully we'll see you all there. But for this, ahead of this game, because obviously you've just come off beating these guys 7-2, what's your approach to this game? Will you rotate the squad based on the previous results, or will you pick the same? Obviously, I'm not going to ask you to name your squad now, but it'd be great if you did. But I don't think you're going to do that. Slimbridge, that 7-2 win, if you pick the same squad, then what's your kind of mentality going into this one? Is it, we've done it before, we can do it again? Or is it rotation and thinking, well, we've beaten them before with this squad, can we beat them again with this squad?
We'll be going full strength. Like I said, it's all about the next game. We can't think about Monday. You will always have an eye on the Monday game. If anyone says they don't, they'd be lying. But it's back-to-back games. We have to make sure our players are fully fit both days. Out the two, it's the one on Saturday that we got to worry about before we worry about the league game on Monday. But the challenges we have this week is this will end up being a 1-0 or a 2-1, because one thing I learned about them on the day, they definitely didn't give up and they carried on fighting. So they're going to come and try and cause an upset, and they're definitely going to want to pay us back for what we did to them. So here's another little challenge that I'm looking forward to. And this is what we worked on last night at training, and we'll be working on Thursday. We know what's ahead of us, and then it will have to be a quick turnaround Saturday evening, Sunday morning to work out what the next challenge is on the Monday. But all we can do is worry about the Saturday. But there will be one or two changes. I will say that to you right now, because why wouldn't we? We deserve to give these boys a little bit of an extra day's rest, ready for Monday, because I don't know if Poulton play a league game on the Saturday. I don't know if they've rearranged one because they were knocked out of this cup by this team. I don't know what they're doing, so we have to find out if they've arranged a game, and then we can work around it from there.
So what's the challenge? Because obviously you've won 5 out of 5 in all competitions, and actually that goes back to a question I was going to ask you, because of course you're saying, okay, let's be, let's not over egg it, and let's not over think of ourselves. Let's just take it game by game. How do you as a manager then communicate that to supporters to say, we've won 5, guys, but if you are already thinking that we're going to be top of the league and we're going to be undefeated and invincibles, then you're living in a dream world. How do you kind of, because obviously you can manage player expectation because you're there with them every day, but the fan expectation is slightly different. How do you manage that as a manager?
Well, as a manager, you have to go and learn from your experiences. I was Hemel Hempstead manager, and I'd won 12 out of 12. I was top of the league, Conference South, absolutely flying. We beat everyone, and everyone just got carried away. Everyone just thought then you was never going to lose. And then I think we lost 6 or 7 on the bounce after that, and then everything changes. So what I've done is I've took a little bit of experience from that, and you generally can't ever think too far ahead, because we might lose both games at the weekend, and then it'd be like the bubbles burst. So that's where it definitely is just one game at a time. But where my experience comes in now, I just keep the lads grounded. I keep my management team grounded, and I've made it very clear, let's just not get carried away. But one thing we have to do is keep enjoying our football and stay confident. And if we lose our next 3 and then we can win another 2 or 3 and stay in the mix, I'll be really happy with that. I didn't expect to be winning 5 out of 5. Of course, you want to win 5 out of 5, but I know how quickly football can change overnight. And we've got 2 games over the weekend where it can all change. And then by Monday night, we're disappointed if we don't pick up points. So what I have to do is just make sure we just look after ourselves, let the football do the talking, and don't get too high and don't get too low. Like I've said many, many times over the years, and twice it on this interview here today. It's all about Slimbridge. I went to watch that game, Slimbridge Polton, last 2 weeks on Saturday. I drove there because we played Bishop's Cleeve on the Friday, and Polton were the better team. And Polton should have gone 1 or 2-0 up, and then Slimbridge ended up beating them 2-0. So that's how football can happen. I thought Polton were a very good side on the day. So we just have to take whatever's in front of us, and that's what we've done so far. We played 3 unbelievable teams in the league. I know one might look, it wasn't as much because of the scoreline. You know, people will look at them now that they're going to be the whipping boys because they lost 7 goals in one evening. Trust me, they're going to win lots of games. They got a good manager, good team. It was just a very lucky night for us with the way we scored our goals. But it's going to be a real challenge now, the next 2 games. Can we stay top of the league? Because that's a pressure in its own right. I wish I wasn't. I wish Weymouth had stayed there, because everyone wants to be top of the league. Everyone knows that over the years as well. And can we get in the next round of the cup and continue the momentum? So that would be the challenges for the boys this weekend.
And it'll be Polton's 2nd game in the league this season because they've had 1 postponement already. So a difficult challenge, no doubt. But you know, especially the Slimbridge game on Saturday. That's the kind of tasty game that makes being a football fan fantastic. Because it is, as you say, could be a 2-1, could be a 1-0. But Polton Rovers on Monday what do you think they're going to bring? Because obviously this will be their 2nd league game. But as you mentioned, Slimbridge have beaten them. I don't think they've got a win this season. They've played 3 and they've lost 3, I believe. So what kind of challenge do you think that's going to be? Are you expecting them, presumably you're expecting them to be a little bit angry and dare I say another word, but a bit kind of miffed, get on that pitch, maybe angry and go, come on, we've got to win this. So is your mentality, you know, we can beat them based on what we've already done this season and what they're doing this season at the moment, or is it a kind of a voyage into the unknown for you with Polton? Obviously, I know you've watched them, but what did you said that they were better than Slimbridge, and yet they lost 2-0. Could they be better than us, but still we win?
Yeah, this is where this league was really, difficult last year, because everyone, if you look on paper, we should beat Polton, but that's not how it is. Like on paper, we should beat Slimbridge, but that's not how it is, and everyone knows that. We learned that last year more than anyone in this league. Polton have one thing on us on the day. They come here with no fear. They come to us like if they win, they're going to be heroes. They've stopped our run. So if you're a player, you want that. If you're a Polton player, you want to make sure that we don't score a goal. They don't want us to get 3 points on the day. So they come with no, what's the word, expectations to beating us. So that means they're playing with no fear. So that's when it's dangerous. And that's why the top sides, when they're up the top, know how to play these games and don't take your foot off the pedal. So we've got to make sure, if I'm being brutally honest here, I want to be the underdog when Bolton come to us. And that's what I'll be saying to my players. Don't take the foot off the pedal now. They're the next team in front of us. We want to stay up the top of the league to the best of our ability. I'm not saying top, I'm just saying up the top half to give ourselves a chance at the end of the season to be in a good position. And if you want to be up there, you're at home against Bolton, who maybe have a lack of confidence at the moment because they haven't won. We are confident. So you've got to get the foot on the pedal straight away and let's attack them straight away. Show no fear and let's show Bolton who we are and what we're about.
Double match day weekend for the Supermarine faithful. Saturday and Bank Holiday Monday, both 3 p.m. kickoffs. We hope to see you there. Bobby Wilkinson, thank you for giving up your time to chat with the club today.